Hey guys, so like the video description and the video says, and probably already my intro, I am doing something a little bit differently. Oh boy. What I'm making is a shield. Very easy to make, easy to do, pretty much something that anybody can do, anybody can make, and it's fun to do, fun to test, and it will be usable for training or whatevs. Now, how we're going to make the shield and what we will be using, or what I will be using, what I recommend is I have about an inch plywood, about an inch thick, and mine's very long. Now, depending on what you're making, if you're making kind of a one-handed shield where you would have it out and you're holding it like this. Let's just imagine like this huge shield's in front of me, and this is what I'm holding on. If you're making it one-handed, make the plywood half an inch. If you're making kind of a strap where it's kind of strapped onto your arm and you're holding it here, and you have something that's strapping and holding onto it onto your arm, like a leather strap or whatever, then you can go half an inch to an inch. I'm going an inch just for the sake of I want to try it out. If it's too heavy, I can always kind of grind it down and make it half an inch. What will we need? Jesus, where's my words? Carpenter's glue. I wouldn't recommend a lot of carpenter's glue. If you use too much, it can make the shield heavy. So I would say maybe about 400 milliliters. Yeah, I'd say so. That can work for almost every type of shield, unless you're making like a tower shield. Then I recommend maybe 600 milliliters, 800. Bolts. These will come in handy for when we're putting on our leather or whatever type of strap you're doing. What I'm using, it's stupid but genius, is kind of a pant leg that I outgrew a pair of swimming shorts, and you know how some things you would have your foot and it would be like this, and then you're like, it's too hot, and you'd zip it off and you'd throw it away, whatever. I'm gonna be using this as my strap, and I'm sure you'll have something like this, one of those pants that you can zip off the legs and they just don't fit you anymore, so maybe that can be in use. You can use anything from like a leather strap to, I don't know, a glove. Like, as long as if you can get it, screw it into the wood and it will hold, it will work. I also have canvas. Now, I got like a lot of it. I got 9 by 12. You don't need this much canvas. This is a ridiculous amount. I'm only doing maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 layers in the front and 1 layer in the back. So you don't need this much. And honestly, I still have my old one that I still haven't used like half of it. And then I have a dowel, kind of something that I can use to grip onto. Like so. So I can, let's say, that marker's there. So I can grip onto it, and this will be my handle. I'll be making a kind of long Templar shield. A Templar shield is something that is kind of square like this, but then it would come down and around and then back up. They're usually meant for sideways arm straps. We'll get to a whole bunch of straps and handle ideas later on in the video, but this is just an idea. Also, you'll probably need a screwdriver or maybe electronic one that you or whatever. And of course you'll need something to measure it with. You can use a piece of wood. I mean, and honestly, anything that is straight will work. Now, before I get started, if you're trying to make a round shield, like, you know, how to make like a round, what I recommend is taking a screw, drilling it into the wood, then taking a string, putting a loop through that string and putting it on, tying it to your what's it called, pencil or whatever you're using, and then using the string and drawing around. That's how I made my round shield. It works very well. Do not tie it onto the screw, or it will just continuously get smaller and smaller until it's nothing, and then you can't use that as actual measurements. You have to make a loop onto that screw so that you can do a circle without it kind of tightening up and you'd be wrapping around it. Like I said, bigger doesn't always mean better. So if you're going for a big kind of round shield, or let's say tower shield, bigger doesn't always mean better. When I made my first ever Viking shield, and then I started using it in sparring sessions at HEMA, it didn't work out well for me. I felt that it just was too big. It was too just out of place. It was just awkward to try to get around it, like to try to, you know, use it. I'll show you that in maybe sometime later on. As you can see here, we have, well, my shield, a kind of Templar Viking shield. Templar Crusader type of shield. You know, stuff like this. Parallel. That's later on. Now, before we get gluing, you need to cut out the canvas. If you don't cut this out, and then you glue it, and then you have to place it over it, you're gonna have to cut it out anyway. You may screw up. So this gives you a good idea of where to start, or what type of material that you're using, so you can cut it out already. Okay. Oh, I got 2 layers. Whoops. I didn't notice that, but I actually have 2 layers. See what I mean? This is just the simplest things. So, once you have your shield covered and ready to go, you just simply cut it out. So, let's start. Now that we have our cutout, see, cutout is not exactly right. I can quickly place it on. Comes the fun part. The glue. What you want to do, try to be quiet so. Is, well, first, recommend a pair of gloves. Alright guys, now that we have this, and it's been there for a good, I don't know, 20 minutes. I want to tell you a little bit about the edges, because the edges are a bit difficult to deal with. Me doing this so many times, I'm not gonna teach you. For edges, what do I put this one here? For square edges like this, you kind of fold one in. Stick it on. That's all you gotta do. For something like it's not ready, but for something like this, you push these two in and then you fold it in. So glue this, put them on, and then you push this one back, and then glue that. That's it. Looking good. You can paint these at the end when you're like done. You can paint them on cross, like a crusader. But I'll have just go up the middle. Honestly, you can have any design. Any design. Small circle, and there's that one circle, tiny cut, circle. Go right ahead. Seriously, any design. This works with any design. As long as if the balance is in the middle, go for it. If you're going for a strap windshield, like what I'm doing, then honestly, any design is open. Anyway, you should leave this out to dry for a while. I don't know. I would give it 4 or 5 hours before you keep it open glue. It's on. These just pull it, just hold it, glue, that's all you gotta do. Just gotta learn to push one in and then fold the other one over it. Guys, so here's my kind of finished project. I have the folds. Oh god, push that down. So I got nice folds. So if you're curious, do a round shield, you're gonna run into the problem of that, well, when you're going around, it may kind of bump up and over. Like, as you're kind of bringing it around, it'll bump up and over. Just squeeze them and fold, and then put glue underneath and push it down and hold it for a bit. That's all you have to do for a round shield. Now comes the fun of working on a handle, something that you can grip onto the shield. Now, this can be used many different ways. For a small shield that you only want to use for one hand, that you hold on to and you can keep it out, and it's out there, then you can move it up and down and whatever. Instead of having it strapped onto your arm, just cut a little hole like this. Then have another piece of stick that you go down, sand out the middle, sand out all along here, and then you can hold it like that. Now, if you're too lazy to buy a shield boss, which is this metal thing here, avoid those nails, that metal thing here, a piece of wood would probably work, but make sure it's pretty big and hefty. once again, you can go for the traditional strap, which is something where you slide your hand in and you have it all the way down and it's strapped onto your arm. I used a pant leg, for goodness sakes, so I mean, you can really do anything like that. Honestly, you can do it the most cheap way that I did, which is just a simple wood, and then that, and you can slide your hand in between these two. It's kind of hard to do it with just, camera right now. For me, I'm gonna have a handle that kind of goes across like this, and I think I'm gonna use the dowels, something like this. And I'm gonna have it like that across. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna carve out maybe about that much out of it and cut it down to half. I can slide my hand in and grip onto it, and then I'll have a strap like here that holds onto it. I think I'll have it a bit lower, maybe once the roll, maybe about here. Yeah, about there, and then I'll have a strap here that straps on my arms. I have the other pant leg of that, so, and then, voila. By the way, if you're gonna use canvas, this stuff here, you can paint right over this. In fact, that right there I got from, some convention, and I stuck a Sony sticker onto it. It's not exactly a Sony sticker, but you can paint over this and paint whatever design you want, or there can just be a red line like that, red line like that, and everything else is black. For me, I'm gonna go pure Crusader, so I'm gonna have kind of a cross, and then I'm gonna have it go all the way down to the bottom of the shield. I'm not religious, but why the hell not? Anyway, that's about it. Once this glue dries, I'm gonna work on that, and I'm finally done. I'll show you the end result, and maybe I'll test it a little bit and show you how durable just a simple piece of wood with canvas and carpenter glue can actually be. Yeah. So I'll see you then.